Hello, beautiful people. My name is Kristen. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today, I am talking about what I did for Shakespeare and give a little review of Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. This was a reread for me. It is the story comedy of Shakespeare about a father with two daughters. The youngest is beautiful and alluring and everybody wants to marry her, but the oldest is very much a shrew, just very temperamental and opinionated and wants her way and headstrong, and nobody wants to marry her, but the father does not want to marry off his youngest and be stuck with the oldest. So they come up, including the suitors of the youngest, with a plot to try to promote the marriage of the first one, who comes in the savior hero of the story, who proceeds to try to tame Kate into a dignified, cultured woman. And everything is got a lot of kind of sexual undertones and a lot of kind of stereotypical just hilarity ensues. Now, I read for this a retelling of Anne Tyler's Vinegar Girl. So this is based off of that Shakespearean play. Now, Anne Tyler is a new author to me. I know she has written a lot of other things, and I had heard that if I didn't love this, to read something else by her, because this is not necessarily her most famous or most loved book. But here's what I want to say. If you read these together like a Shake-Timber kind of combo, I think personally that that's going to make all the difference in the world, because this story is a story of a modern woman who is struggling to try to find a fulfilling relationship, and she's even self-acclaimed picky and has some attitudes and some difficulties, which she feels, of course, is justified. And then she has her life adventures that go along. And if you were just reading, like you just picked it up and you weren't familiar with Taming of the Shrew, I can see how this would be very slow kind of moving, as well as maybe a little odd, because Shakespeare was not really going for realism. Like if I was going to respond as a real person to something happening, that would not be the way Shakespeare would write out that scene. And that plays out by reading this book, I think. I think if you are reading it, you might go, well, that person's, behaving in a way that is so unrealistic or whatnot. But if you've just finished reading Taming of the Shrew, which, by the way, I do recommend that you read that play first before you read this, you start seeing the clever little nuances, right? The way she is tying in even things in here. Like, for instance, the Taming of the Shrew, one of the ways he's taming her is that he stops her from being able to eat a lot of meat or things that she really desires to, consume. And then in this story, it's talking about vegetarianism. And so, you may say, gosh, that's not handling vegetarianism in a very normal, systematic way of thinking about it. No, it's a play off of that play. Does that make sense? So if you recognize this as the retelling, it is super fun and super enjoyable, and I really, really loved it. And here's my question for people who are familiar with Anne Tyler. What do you recommend I read next? Like, what are the things that you think I shouldn't miss? Because I really did enjoy her writing, and I really enjoyed the cleverness of somebody who could take that story and adapt it. And I did overall think that this was great. If I had just picked up this book and just read it, I probably would have been like, okay, it's okay, 3 stars, glad I read it, it was entertaining, maybe I'll check out something else. But based on going to the retelling, it becomes a real solid 4-star for me. It was just really, really engaging and beautiful, and I look forward to reading some more Anne Tyler. So if you have any recommendations, leave them in the comments. If you've read Taming of the Shrew and you like it, leave me a comment. If you haven't but you want to now, even more, leave me a comment. I look forward to more Shakespeare in the future, whether it's September or not, and even starting getting some ideas for next year. I really enjoy revisiting Shakespeare and all those things. If you have any other recommendations, leave them below. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great day. Happy reading, y'all.